Well, good Saturday morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. And my God, let me say shout out to everybody who has been here helping this channel grow steady all of these years. We are literally about 1,300 people away from 50,000 subscribers. I feel honored that we're getting that close. You know, that's one of those things that when you start YouTube, you don't even think about numbers like that. You're like, if I can just get to 1,000, you get to 1,000. If I can get to 5, if I can get to 10. And now I'm getting closer and closer to one of those milestones. And I can't say thank you guys enough. And hopefully sometime in the very near future, we will make it there to 50,000 subscribers. Right now, we need to hope that the Dallas Cowboys can make it to 7 wins. We've got a tough match going against the Minnesota Vikings, a surprising Minnesota Vikings that are 8-1. The only loss for the Minnesota Vikings is Kirk Cousins playing on Monday Night Football against the Philadelphia Eagles. We need a win in the worst way right now. We do not want to go ahead and have a loss here on Sunday and then have to fly home and then play a division rival New York Giants on Thanksgiving. We need to get this win, get this out of the way, and start picking up some momentum. Excuse me. I want to go back to one of the greatest athletes of all time. There's something about great athletes that have this drive, this mentality, and that they take winning and losing personally. Let's listen to Michael Jordan here.
They were tough. Every time I go in that fucking game and come out, I got a new scratch. It became personal with me. I knew that Jerry Krause loved Dan Martin. And just because Krause liked him was enough for me. You think he's a great defensive player? Okay, fine. I'm gonna show you that he's not. Clyde was a threat. You know, I'm not saying he wasn't a threat, but me being compared to him, I took offense to that. I was a little bit upset that I didn't get the MVP that year and they gave it to Charles Barkley. But with that said, okay, fine. Talk trash. Now I had a bone to pick with you. You know, I'm supposed to kill this guy. You know, I'm supposed to dominate this guy. And from that point on, I did. Those guys who work in the front office, they were good people. But the most important part of the process is the players. So for him to say that is offensive to the way that I approach the game. Carl Malone get MVP.
We go out to dinner one night. George Carl's over on the other side, having dinner. Hey, there's George Carl over there. And George Carl does not come over and speak to him.
He walked right past me. Now look at my, really? Oh, so that's how you're gonna play it. I said, it's a crock of shit. You know, we went to Carolina, you know Dean Smith, you know, I see him in the summer, we play golf. You gonna do this? Okay, fine. That's all I needed. That's all I needed.
That's all he needed.
To do that, and it became personal with me.
He said that LeBradford Smith, walking out of the gym, had said, "Nice game, Mike." And you knew that this wasn't going to go down well.
Concentrating.
Nice game, Mike. You gotta love it.
He took such umbrage at a guy saying, "Nice game, Mike," that he torched and humiliated him.
Oh, I hated him. And yeah, he carries even to this day. They made it personal. They physically beat the shit out of us.
Yes, I took it personal. I took it personal. And when he took it personal, he went after your ass. He was going to destroy you. I believe the Lion. Now I think that Micah Parsons has had some injury issues. I think that's one of the reasons why they played him at linebacker and so on. Micah Parsons has not had a sack since the 23rd of October. And I think it's time that Micah Parsons gets back on track. The Cowboys need this guy. And I want to, after listening to Michael Jordan and how he took things personal, I'm beginning to believe that that's Micah Parsons too. You know, last week I thought he was ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
He talked about stomping on the roach, but didn't get the opportunity because he was only in on the defensive line for 9 plays. I think they need to release the Kraken this week. But let's listen to Micah Parsons, who, to me, sounds like he is taking this personal. He is taking this loss, that 14-point loss in the fourth quarter. Excuse me, giving up 14 points in the fourth quarter, personal.
How have y'all gone about advancing that process this week?
Yeah, just making sure everybody on the right track, advancement on the details, advancement on the execution, over-communicating this week, understanding alignment, understanding what to expect, what not to expect, increasing film. Those are just some of the things that I've done to, prepare myself and try to help those around me.
When you look at that film, how difficult is a Vikings team that's got as many weapons at the caliber that they do?
Oh, man, I mean, it's an extreme challenge, but we faced multiple teams that's like them or even better this year, so it's not something new to us. We just got anchored down and get ready for a heavyweight fight.
Mike said they're going to get off the bus running outside zone against you guys. Is that what your expectation is?
Sheesh. I can't say that. My expectations is different than what I'm saying every week, so I'm going to just wait till I see it. It's just one of them things you just got prepared of.
When it comes to the run defense over the last few weeks, you've seen it from both perspectives, both on the line and back off the linebacker position. Do you think this has been more of an assignment issue or more of a communication issue over the last few weeks?
I just think it's a collective thing of just, us not doing our job and executing. Not to blame. I can kind of, like you said, I see it from both sides of where things is going wrong, but at the end of the day, we got to trust each other. Trust is going to be the key to everything and where we want to go, and we got to trust someone's going to be in the B gap when they're supposed to be in the B gap. We got to trust that people are going to come in the A gap when they're supposed to be in the A gap and hold the edge. And without that trust, we won't go far. So we're enhancing that trust, and I even told them, I said, when you see me to the side, you can play your gap, like you don't even got to worry about it. So that's the type of stuff that's going to make people play faster and come downhill a lot faster.
When things aren't going the way you want for the whole defense, how hard do you take that individually?
For me, it's tough because at the end of the day, whether I have 3 sacks, 0 sacks, no tackles, 2 tackles, 20 tackles, all I want to do is win. To me, it's all about winning. You're a winner or a loser, whether it's a big win, whether you contributed 1 inch, whether you contributed nothing, you're a winner, you're a winner. So to me, when stuff's hitting the fan and we're not doing what we need to do and we're losing, some people may not feel it, but I think everything counts in a matter of winning. And I want to be around people that want to win as bad as I do, So.
When it comes to fixing something like the run defense, how has your leadership in that process changed from last year to this year?
Just in the instance of, I even took a lot of accountability. Maybe I was even, messed up, or maybe I'm backdooring some things I shouldn't be backdooring, trying to make a play, and I'm going to hold myself accountable to the extent. So I'll take the blame, I'll do whatever, but
I'll take the blame.
Somebody like me, you can't expect me to do it again, though. I'm a commit to this team and commit to doing the right thing and making sure that, if it's going to be not going to be on me, and I'll make sure I hold the anchor for this team.
How did you feel your Packers game compared to your earlier games this season personally?
I thought I played pretty well. Like I said, whether I had 20 or none, I just wanted to win. I think whether I feel the worst that I ever felt in my life or I feel the best, I feel like I play hard and I'm trying to play hard and I'm giving everything I got. So, sometimes it may not show it because people tend to look at columns or they don't show up for whatever reason. But I promise to God I give everything I got every week. So if I didn't, I wouldn't be on the field as much as I do. Or I wouldn't be out there trying to play through, anything that I go through. But, I love the game, so I just deal with it.
The Packers pretty much sold out against running the ball. for the majority of the game. The Bears did a lot of that too. Given the Vikings have a guy like Justin Jefferson, they've got Adam Thielen, do you expect them to be passing more than you've seen the last? I mean, you can't expect it. But.
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever. But they also got a guy like Dalvin Cook, who I think is the top running back in this league. So, like I said, I'm going to just buckle my helmet up, and I'm going to set edges and ball out, you know. And if they want to drop back, well, they can see me in that too.
How personal your defense take it, though? You have 28-14 in the fourth quarter, and a lot of them come back.
Sure, I mean, it's whatever now. I'm looking at this Vikings week because, you know, Packers, we learned, we grew. This Vikings week, I mean, sure, it won't happen again, though. I mean, if my dad go out there and give me that lead again, I promise I ain't going to do that. We ain't going to do that again, you know. Whether it's got to come from me, whether it's got to come from JK or any other leader on this defense, Law, we got to anchor in on that and make sure that never happens again.
When you look at Jefferson and see him making all
We're
these
going to take it
catches.
personal. We gonna take it personal. And that's one of the things about great players, that George Allen from the Washington Redskins back in the day used to say that when you lose, a little piece of you inside dies. Nothing important, you know, not a liver or heart, you know, but something inside of you dies. I honestly believe that myself. There's nothing I hate than losing. It gnaws at you. It crawls inside of you. It's like that alien that's about to pop out of your chest to me. And I will do everything in the world to win and succeed. I won't give up. And I feel like that is Micah Parsons. The Cowboys this week, for the most part, it's been kind of quiet. You're hearing all the doom and the gloom from the talking heads that don't give the Cowboys any chance. See, this is the thing that's kind of crazy to me about the Cowboys. It seems like whenever we are expected to do something, we don't. Everybody to a man thought we were going to go in and blow out the Green Bay Packers. Everybody picked the Cowboys across the board. And we go up there and we lay an egg. Going into the season, nobody thought the Cowboys were going to do anything. You lose Tyron Smith. You've lost Amari Cooper. Dak Prescott breaks his thumb. They gave up on the season, and the season is done. The Cowboys are finished. Bury them. But it's only week one. They weren't expected to go and play Cincinnati and beat Cincinnati. They weren't expected to win against the Rams, which are actually hanging over. They weren't expected to win the games that they won because nobody believed they could. And here we are again against the Minnesota Vikings. Everybody has buried the Cowboys and said they got no chance in hell. I hope that this is going to be different. Let's go ahead and get this final bit in here. I've got to, fortunately, go pick up the big sub for tomorrow. Yeah, that's right. We got the big sub. We gonna have the big sub again. We didn't have it last week, so if you want to blame somebody, blame me. Let's listen in.
With the run D have to do with their issues with the C gap, specifically that area right outside the offensive tackles and sealing the edge. We saw that on display in Green Bay as they were able to run all over the Dallas Cowboys for 203 yards on the ground. It's not going to get any easier when you start looking ahead. The Cowboys face Dalvin Cook up next, who's averaging about 5 yards a carry and roughly 80 yards a game. Now, what should help the Dallas Cowboys this week is it sounds like Anthony Barr, the linebacker, is at least trending in the right direction. Could he face his former team on Sunday? We'll have to see. But if he's back in the lineup, that would certainly help out Micah Parsons. What also helps the Cowboys is establishing the run on the offensive side of the ball, wearing down opposing defenses, which gives this game a little bit more balance. Ezekiel Elliott did get some work during the walkthroughs this afternoon, and McCarthy said if he continues to look good this week, then they will absolutely play him on Sunday. So we'll see how things shake out.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jane. The Cowboys are coming off that crushing loss in Green Bay. Meanwhile, the Vikings are riding high after their thrilling overtime win over the Bills. Jason, I want to start with you on this one. Which team has the bigger advantage following this week? Player perspective, is it the team that's coming off a massive win or the team that had a really, really brutal overtime loss?
Yeah, I mean, you can probably find the stats to pull and go each and every way. For me, I'm going to go my own personal battles, and I did a lot of losing throughout my career. So being able to come off a big win is everything. You come off a big win on a Sunday, you get into the meetings on Monday, coaches handing out game balls to guys, offense, defense, special teams. Practice squad guys are getting gift cards to Ruth Chris because of what they did throughout the course of the week. There's pictures in the hallway from the game from this past. Coaches are normal people in the building that next week. You can collaborate and talk about the game plan. Home life is happier. I'm in a better mood when I come off a big win. You know how it goes. Happy wife, happy life. So for me, when you can come off that win and you can go into that week feeling good about yourself, feeling good about your team. Monday, when you're watching the film, there's a bad play or something. Somebody makes a joke. We all laugh. Hee hee ha ha. Bad play, but we won the game. The mood in the building after a crushing loss, like you walk in and it's just like everybody's dejected. Nobody wants to smile. Nobody wants to laugh. So for me, when you can come off that win and you can get ready for the next game, and it's another big one. Because either way, we're professionals. You're going to get up. You're going to put the preparation in. But just that good feeling, that good mojo goes a long way.
Yeah, I think momentum's real in football. I think a team starts believing. You start winning. This, we're pulling straight from the headlines. This is the Knicks. The story that's going around here in New York is they started off terrible. They had this meltdown, and they had this team meeting. They looked each other in the eyes, and they went out to dinner, just the players. And they've been rallying off some wins right now. That happens also. I don't think Dallas is at that point of the season, though. I don't think it's it's now or never type deal.
Yeah.
I feel like Dallas thinks that they're okay. We lost that one in Green Bay. We can hang with anybody. We're still a good team. To me, though, for the Vikings, and that franchise and that fan base, which has been so tortured with just heartbreaking loss, the Vikings don't win that game 99 out of 100 times in knowing their history. They lose those games. And not only did they win that game, they seized that game. They went and grabbed that game. And, you know, the fumble in the end zone was one thing. Allen goes and he ties the game. Then they have to come back and score the field goal, and then they have to come back and stop them with the pick. So I think for the Vikings, that was huge. That's erasing a lot of demons in this franchise's history.
True.
I have a working theory that if a team has a crushing defeat, it is the player's job to pull your pants up and go back out and perform. If you have a win like the Vikings did, I think it's the coach's job to regulate emotions and not to bring you down, but to pull you back into reality. And so I think the responsibility falls on people differently after a game, and this is just purely through my observations of walking into a facility a week later. But oftentimes I find that when a team loses, the players feel that. When a team wins, the coaches have to kind of bring you back to steady Eddie.
Yeah, and the Vikings have such a new coach.
Yeah.
But, like, I think that they're loving life right now. It's like that game, they shouldn't have won in a million different ways. And I think when you start, you know, you win the toss in overtime, and oh, you came up short on the sneak, but then they fumble. I think you feel like there's something going on here. Like we're like a team of destiny. Just imagine if you're Cousins. You got Jefferson, who could just do anything. You got Dalvin behind you. At the deadline, they went out and got you a new tight end. Like, they're just spoiling him. I think he's look, you guys know I'm a little friendly with Kirk. I talked to him a little bit this week, just mostly just busting chops, but he's really happy, really thrilled. Like, this is the team he's been waiting for. This is the season he's been waiting for since he was growing up in Barrington, Illinois. I think they're blessed right now in so many different ways. I can't believe they won that game still. And when you win a game like that, I just think there's something like, well, we're supposed to win these games. I actually think they're going to beat Dallas soundly. I really do, and I think Dallas is going to have issues. I think they feel great.
I think considering how that game went, a lot of it had to do with where they were and who they were playing. If that game was as wonky as it was against any other opponent.
In Buffalo?
In Buffalo against the Bills of Miami.
It was snowing at one point.
They usually play that game against the Lions at home and lose.
Exactly.
Like that's the Vikings. Now they're winning a big road game.
Exactly.
I know.
We're going to talk about them again later in the show, but coming up, we've got a super...
All
Time
right.
for Beneath the Surface, presented...
There we go. We've got Minnesota that feels like they're supposed to be winning these games. They, much like the Green Bay Packers, came back down from double-digit being behind, overcame 2 interceptions by Kirk Cousins early, and we saw Josh Allen melt down. FYI, Buffalo, it has stopped snowing. The airport is closed in Buffalo. They are trying to dig out enough of the airport that the Buffalo Bills, if they can get their players to the airport, fly out to Detroit. It is literally like snow Armageddon there right now. 4 to 6 feet of snow. We'll see if they get out. We'll see if that game is still played tomorrow or not. But as always, friends, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Later, do we need to fear the Minnesota Vikings in that offense? I'll have some more on that later. But right now, you know how we roll. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report.
One hell of a job, and all the thing else I got to say